been working on this for 3 days and I haven't made any progress.
Eliot.
Who said that? Great. I'm hallucinating again. Guess I forgot to take my meds.
No, Eliot, you are not hallucinating.
Wait, I'm not? Wait, then who are you?
I am here to help you finish your comic, a disembodied voice.
Right.
You may be wondering, how did we get here? Well, we'll tell you.
First, we wanted to do something with comic books. Having both dabbled in the art form before, we wanted to expand our vision and make a whole series of books.
But then we thought about the comic book community and how it's slowly declining. Not only that, but how countless comic book creators suffer from depression and feel that the comic book making process is unrewarding, strenuous.
So, we decided to make a comic book making game. Using Classcraft, we crafted our game to be a walkthrough on how making a comic process happens.
We did careful research to figure out what was necessary and what wasn't for the type of entertainment we wanted our game to create.
In addition to research, we also met with Bradley Geiger, a self-employed cartoonist who has a podcast, Comic Lab, which is really cool and goes into the comic book industry today.
While we were working on our game, we listened to the podcast and we both highly recommend it. Bradley gave us some great tips on what our game should include, as well as give us some more background on the comic book industry as a whole.
After we had all these tools in our arsenal, we got to work creating the outline of our game and the story.
The story entails you, the main hero, aka Blasterhead, having to save his friends who have been hypnotized by the villainous Snakehead.
You were guided by Masterhead, a great comic book maker who helps you through your journey.
But making a comic is so hard. Where do I even start?
Well, if I were you, I would start at getting started, where you start working on your script for your comic book.
Oh, right, of course.
You travel across multiple terrains.
Getting started, where you write your script for your comic book. Establishing shot, where you work on creating scenery and landscapes that you will use in your comic. Sketching, where you create your rough sketch for your comic. Refine sketch, where you finish your sketch and ink it. Coloring, where you add some color to your comic and make it really stand out. And finally, tying it all together and freeing the land from Snakehead's clutches.
Encountering obstacles as you go along.
Each level is a part of the larger goal of completing your comic.
Man, this is taking too long. I'm just gonna skip the stage.
At the end of each world, there is a boss fight. One of your fallen friends, which you must save.
The boss fights are checkpoints, in which you turn in all the work that you did over the past levels you completed.
Wait, what? I can't get past this stage.
Maybe you should have actually done the work. Ever think about that?
But I want to submit this.
Too bad.
Okay, fine. I'll do it the right way. Gee.
This is done so that we know you're on the right track and are putting forth your best work.
Each level, you complete another step in furthering your comic book to completion. The levels also have tutorials on how artists and creators come up with their amazing ideas.
I have no clue how to do this. Maybe I should just use a video tutorial.
This is done to take some of the burden off of you so that you can continue working. When we first came up with our idea for a game, we placed a lot of emphasis on building a community among comic book artists. So we made it possible for any members to have signed up for the experience to talk with one another, for helping chat or really anything.
Again, the goal is to create a sense of community, which we both agree is sorely lacking in the comic book industry.
Whoa!
Thanks, Headtails!